Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Allen. This is Intro to Game Design, week 13. Pop this over. We don't have a whole ton going on other than the final, which you guys should already have sent me your pitch. I got a pitch from probably half of you guys. So week 11, you had to pitch it. Week 12, you had to show me or tell me what you're up to. And then every week from now on, you're going to have to keep telling me or showing me your progress. That'll be the majority of the assignments. I might throw in just a little assignment or some writing assignments or make you guys go play a game or something, something small, but I'm trying to keep it that your majority of your time is spent on that final. So if you haven't already sent me your idea, do so. I'm going to try to go over a little bit of Photoshop and a little bit of particle effects here because that's what I had requested. If you guys want help learning something else, just let me know, preferably before the day of the lesson, and then I'll get that ready for you and show you guys whatever you need to know. So right now we got a variety. We got concepts, we got environment, we got level designers, we got Zach's going to try to do some weather systems. So I'm going to try to look at the particle effects. So yeah, if there's something specific you want to know, just shoot me an email beforehand. So let's see. I'm going to jump in. Oops, open it twice. To start blank level we got so far. And we can look at some of the free, let's see if I have the stuff. This one doesn't have the default content, does it? I just have to open a fresh map real quick. Let's just do, there's an update available here. No, nothing. I'm just, we don't have the default effects in Elysian Fields, do we? I mean, the default free content or whatever. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see it. I'm going to grab this and add it to our game, if that's cool. Infinity Blade effects. So I think it's this one that we're working on. It's Elysian Fields with no space, right? Okay, that's fine. We haven't done much except for the blueprints you've done. Okay. Okay, so let me see how long this is going to take. Okay, great. Any suggestions? Right. Well, this might take a little bit, so I'm gonna see if I can load up just a test level I have or something and see if I have the starter content in there. So we can at least look at, they have smoke and an explosion, and I think that's roughly about it. But you can at least see, you can just tweak their stuff first. What was it? Okay. Yeah. Maybe we can spell it right though. We're just messing. Yeah, we could put that up for a vote if see if everybody's cool with that. This thing open yet? Not yet. There we go, finally. So I can. Jeez, come on. What were you saying? Okay. I'm going to actually never mind. So I'll add this to the projects and then you can download it later. Yeah, it works, Hunter. All right, so I think this is still a free pack if you look through the marketplace. Let me see here. If you search for Infinity Blade, there's an effects pack. This one, I'm pretty sure how. Okay, well, the cooler effects are almost done. But look, if you search for Infinity Blade in the marketplace, you can download all this stuff for them. We could use it just like to show, like to get our game up and running faster, and we could always like swap the assets later. But it does have the effects pack. Yeah, these are free. I'm not entirely. Yeah, so you just go add to project and put it in one of your projects. Yeah, 100% free. It's because it was made by Epic Games. So there's some cool assets that we could use that would kind of fit our game, Okay, so Infinity Blade effects. Yeah, forgot the T. On purpose, I'm sure. Okay, well, I'm gonna load up the cooler ones. Just one more second. Let's load it up. There we go. Here we go. Okay, Infinity Blade effects. So we can go to effects. Let's see what we got here. Which one do I want to mess with? We can do it in the game. Yeah, so we can start fresh if you want entirely, and I'm down to start fresh too. And then you can just pop your stuff in, and hopefully we'll be fine from there. If we need to. Okay, so that was a quick effect. Look, it's like a splash effect. Let's see if there's some other ones that are like constantly going. Whoa, that one's pretty cool. Yeah, I would assume so. Actually, you can go into Epic here and right click and go delete. It's probably it should still show up in your engine. Like anything you've worked on, it should still be here, and you should be able to just delete it. Yeah. So look at this one. This is pretty cool. It's an aura for like a spell or something. This is complex though. So I'm gonna show you some more basic ones too, like the ones that come with the default stuff. Start with that. Default starter content, and then there's particles. Yeah, no, that's that's really complex. I mean, we could look at it, but it might be easier to look at something simple first. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I would do. Here's like what this one looks like. So this one, scare cats. So let me show you the default stuff first. These are a lot of your I believe they're called modules. So it's like your basically like your settings. Yeah, that's rough. So these are all your settings. So the default ones, if we're to make a new particle thing, is let's see. Okay. So we have lifetime, initial life, initial velocity, acceleration, color over life. These ones I think are all the defaults that anyone will come with. Good. If you want to do another emitter, you just right click and do new emitter. So you can see now, let me open this up a little bigger. You can see here's my default emitter that I just plopped in there. The spawn is, let's see. So it's all curve editors. It's all going to be like looking at a curve, like a graph, basically. So zoom out. Yeah, it's like any kind of animation graph, basically. Let's see. Remove all curves. Sorry, it has been a little bit, but we delete this one. Delete this one. The graph should do. I think I just messed it all up. To restart send now. We can also use this. So like lifetime. I think I did mess up the graph already, but maybe I can mess with another one. Let's try smoke. So we got. I believe this is life multiplier. This one would be color over life. You click the little boxes, and so if you want to change the color over time, see now how it's like blue instead of gray. You can change it this way, and now we're going yellow. We can do life multiplier, and that will give us a longer like smoke trail. Good. So look, you could do life multiplier and it just gets longer. You can do size by life. Any of the curve editors should be here. I'm not sure how you get them to. Oops. So some of them don't necessarily even have curves. They just have values. So the initial value could be 0, and then so you can tweak the value. The initial value, if you want it to be 0, and then our out value, if you want it to go like up on the z-axis or something. Now we can have taller smoke. You know, we can add more particles in here, and then we just need to. Well, I'll just make a little particle of something. What should I make real quick? Rain. Okay, we'll have to figure out how to reverse the particle action then. Or you can always flip it upside down. Okay. Thanks. Okay. So when you're doing, let me see what they actually use. You're going to use an image file that's not humongous. Generally, let me UV smoke. So their image files are duplicated. They're what do you call it? Tiled, as you can see. But you have to make a material just like any other material. It doesn't have to be this complicated. You can just do a more simple material. Where can I see there? No, it's not. Yeah, this one's not too bad. The actual texture, though. Let's see. Oh yeah, some of them get just crazy textures. Let's see if I can find. So 512 by 512. That's what we'll use. There's also these sub UV textures that we'll have to get into later, where it's like multiple versions of the smoke, fire. So that's a little more complicated. To even be able to Photoshop this out, it's a little more complicated. You'd have to probably try to find like a video of fire and then pause it and take a bunch of cut it out a bunch of times and then make sure it's opacity is fine. But for now, we'll just start. Yeah, or made it darker or whatever. Yeah. So there's some. Yeah. So 512. Just open up. I guess I can close this one. We'll look at. I can close all these. We'll look at the more complicated ones when we're done, just to see. So Photoshop or whatever. No, we're not ignoring you. I'm just trying to make some rain over here, man. Trying to make it rain. So 512 by 512 resolution is going to be 72. Anything you're doing on a computer, the resolution is going to be 72. If you're doing print, it'll be something else. Rain. It'll rain. And you're going to do RGB because the computer is RGB, which is red, green, blue. That's what all your pixels are made of, in case you didn't know. and then let's see, we're going to do a black background. And yeah. Then we can either try to find a brush that kind of looks like rain or just paint it out. The image size itself. So the whole image, 512 pixels by 512 pixels, 72 resolution. For anything, for textures, for particle textures, if we're doing regular textures, you can get them up to 2048. And if we need to, we'll drop them back down to 1024. And in case this all seems random numbers to you, it's because everything in computer language is multiples of 2. So that's why, yeah, it's multiples of 2, and this just happens to be the one we're using. So double that, and you get the next size up. Double that, you got the next one. Yes, under. So now we can just do, I don't think I have any brushes that look very good, but I can maybe cheat and try to just find some rain and overlay it real quick. Yeah, rain texture, whatever. Like which one looks good to you? How rainy do we want it? Or you can just take a brush that's like slightly opaque and brush down a few times. You can just make something like that. I'll just take this one. I'll just copy that in there. I can send it to you. Here. So pop that in. In Photoshop, this looks like it's a pure black background. Like somebody obviously just drew this out. But you can, if in Photoshop, you can use the screen blend mode, and it will only show the light colors. If you do a multiply blend mode, it'll only show the dark. So that's one way to get rid of dark backgrounds if you need to. There should be blend modes. Let's try screens for white, multiplies for dark. Okay, I'm just gonna save rain diffuse layer. I'm gonna save it as a PNG, and I'll do no compression. So PNG, no compression. I'm just going to make a new folder for rain particles. Oh, I did a Google image search for rain text. Oh, what? Why not? Can you hear me, Hunter? Are you guys? What? Yeah, I don't know what. It just like dies for no reason. Great. So I picked this one. If you want to find that one, or actually, I think I got this one. This one's fine. So 512. Save this thing out, and then you're gonna bring it in. I just made a folder, and then I'm gonna import that rain file. So I just put mine in here. You have your merits. You guys are all cool. You just give me a hard time. So once you just grab any old texture. I'll have to look up UV panning real quick because I forgot about that. But UV panning in UV4. Okay, so we could do. Okay, yeah, I'll wait. Screens for white. Yeah. Multiply would be if you had an image, you only want the dark color to show through. Yeah, it probably won't do anything because the background was already black. But I'm saying if we had a picture that had like a not quite pure black background, you could use that and it would get rid of it. So thanks, Hunter. Yeah, pull it into Unreal. And we can try this first. So I'm going to give this a go. Yeah, check that out. Oh man, I'm going to. Yes, now I got some rain panning here, right? Cool. Panning. You know, like panning, camera pan. Yeah, pull it in Unreal. Well, let me close my office door real quick. Okay. Okay, can we do this? Did you get that texture in there? Yeah, so pull that texture in, right click and go create new material, create material. Yeah, it'll name itself rain matte or whatever. So I'm gonna try this first and see if it helps because we're gonna want rain's gonna be kind of hard because we're gonna want it all over the place. So we'll try this for now. Put just your texture attached to base color. Look up Panner here and plug that in to the UVs, which will make the UVs like scroll. Yeah, you have to change the so click on the actual panner thing. We're gonna do speed y on the negative because we want it to go negative y, right? If we wanted rain to go upwards, we do the opposite. So it depends how fast you want it. So pick something that looks good to you. I think like negative 0.7 looks pretty good to me. Because negative's down, positive's up, right? Yeah, it's not great, but whatever. It's just a demo. Oh, okay. I think we need to do one more thing. Yeah. What? So one more thing is go to your material node and click on blend mode and go to additive. That way it'll be like see-through. See, now we got see-through rain. Find it? Yeah, cool. So if you want to test it on like a flat plane, you click there, obviously. You can do it on a cube. I'm not sure how we're going to do rain. Maybe, yeah, pretty cool, right? uh, oh, yeah, yeah, the round will look crazy. Shape or nah, we're gonna try to do an emitter, but I'm not sure if that'll be the solution. Yeah, I've done humongous particles before. Like we had a dust storm in one of our games, and it got pretty laggy. Just because now the particles are huge and they're just everywhere, you know. So we might have to brainstorm, but we're just figuring out how to do a couple cool things. So if this isn't the solution, at least you figured out how to make stuff like this. I've used this type of technique for things like water, lava, textures that'll be moving. You know. So then press save, apply, whatever. What do you put in it on? Yeah, you can always change that. I mean, uh, geometry cube or whatever. Yeah, I mean, here's some rain. That's kind of cool. Raining somewhat. It's a little too slow, but yeah, I don't know what the real benefit of the basics are. Like geometry seems to be the way to go. So let's try to bring this into a particle effect. Let's see how cheesy it looks when I run through it. It needs to be faster, but oh, and you'd have to make if you're doing it this way, we'd have to make the cube so they have no collision box, right? Because they have collision. Um, uh, do, do, do. That's probably not the way to go. Let's try to make a particle out of it and see what happens. So just right click on your material and it should have been, you could just click and do particles. But maybe we have to right click and do particle system. Rain particles. Then open this up and let me see. How do I plug this in? Yeah. I don't know if I can just drag it in there or what. There we go. So you click, get rid of this thing. You can delete this one. I got new particle emitter, but I don't see where my particles are coming from. Yeah, right. So you have your material selected, and you can right click and do new particle emitter. And that'll bring in your material. Now we got to figure out why it's not showing. What do you mean? Oh, I don't know. Mine didn't say that. Oh, you mean clicking down here? Click off to the side where it says new particle sprite emitter. Like in the black area over here. I don't know. You're watching my video. You only have one screen, huh? Okay. Oops. I'm just going the wrong way. It's not showing. Yeah, right click. It doesn't say new particle emitter like that. I don't know. Try after. Just see what it says then. Yeah, because then you don't need the original one. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna. It's not really showing up for me because it's so light and it's like hard to see. Maybe you can change the background color to something. Didn't work. Well, I dragged it, so just drag it out into the world, and you can see that it is indeed showing. Let's see where my little rain. But if you look at mine, it's tiny and it's raining upwards. Just probably not what we want. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go back in here and we'll try to. I mean, we could live with this and just flip it, and then I think that's just for in here, but it didn't seem to work for me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just flip this upside down, and now I have rain going down, right? You can also just scale this thing up, but we don't want that many particles on top of each other because now it's going to look crazy. So yeah, that's what. Yeah, and the lifetime and then all that. That's what we're going to mess with. So here's. Okay, that's what we got so far. Not ideal, right? We need the, let's see, lifetime. You can add more of the modules if you right click and go to look around over here. There's different options for us. Let's see. So if you click on spawn, we're going to go to rate, I guess, and we're going to make it less. Oops, I did it wrong. So click on only the ones you want. Where's my rate? Oh, it's way up here. So we're going to bring that down. You see what I did? So click on spawn, click on the little graph thing, and then make sure only this box is selected yellow for rate. that'll say how many are coming out at one time. I think it was at like 200 or something crazy. So we'll just have. You can always zoom out. So we're gonna want it kind of low. This is, you just got to play with it. Normally you'd be able to see it in here, but I don't know what is going on. So you press save, and my rate is still too much. So if you have spawn, you click the green graph thing, then rate, you should just be able to have only that one selected. I'm trying to move mine down and see if find kind of the right balance. Let me see what works. Negative, yeah, negative seems to just kill it entirely. Maybe like 1. Yeah, so we need it low, but then we're gonna do lifetime, and we're gonna bump up the lifetime. So just try to put it as low as possible. You can zoom in and out here and click to like move around a bit. So I'm gonna drop mine down to pretty low. See mine now? Now it's a little slower. There's only 1 per half second or whatever. I have mine at 0.94. Yeah, whatever. 1. Then we can do lifetime after that. So we want them to last longer. Yeah, I can hear you. How did I make mine bigger? I just scaled it up. Like here, I just scaled it up. You can change it here. You can do initial size instead, or whatever. I'm just trying to show you that you can also scale it if you're lazy. So let's do lifetime now, and click on lifetime, click the green chart thing, go select lifetime here. What do you mean custom parts? You can add any 2 like models together. You can combine them easily. So pull this up. We're gonna want so now we got rain. This is looking a little better. Let's take a look. Oh, let me move this out the way. I did lifetime at like 5. Mine has 2 little bars in here. I'm not sure why, but I'm just dragging them both up. I think one's that's what I did wrong. One's the spawn lifetime, and one's just the lifetime. So spawn lifetime, you might want to, the red box, you might want to keep that at. We'll see. So that'll be like how many times does it spawn as it's going down, and then the other one is going to be how long does each particle last. So I'll put mine at like maybe 5 or 10, something like that, and try that. Press save and see how this looks. Where did I put it? Oh. So now it's kind of, let's see. If you pull it up, you can see how far it's going. Mine was going into the ground. Let's see, we got. Where do I keep putting this thing? What? Okay. I'm confused. Oh, it's like right behind where I start. Mine disappeared. What's going on here? But it's showing here. I don't know how it just missed. Oh, maybe it's too high. Yeah, give me a second, Hunter. Yeah, mine disappeared. Now I'm confused. Yeah, I mean, it shows in the editor, but then when I go to play, it doesn't show. You can see here. I mean, you can still see there's my rain. So, I mean, that's looking better, right? That would just be like your spawn rate. Yeah, spawn rate, just boost that up. You can change initial size, initial velocity, color over life, stuff like that. And then there's just oodles of like options here. So you can make it spin, you can make it react to light. Maybe that's the problem. You can make it kill when it hits like the ground. You can even give it collision. You can even do particles that are meshes. Like, yeah, there we go. So, I mean, we could always, if we scale it up, it becomes kind of a problem. Oops, I just deleted mine. Yeah, I'm probably going to change my initial size so I can see it. So initial size, there's a bunch of them here. Start size, distribution. So you can click in if you want to do initial size here, minimum and maximum. I'm gonna do like 200 for the max and maybe 120 for the minimum or something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why it's doing that for me either. Maybe because it's just a white rain and we might have to add some light effects. Yeah, that's weird because it was shown in the editor like a second ago for me, right? I don't know why I clicked it, just killed it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but what's our other option going to be? Other than particles? I think it might. Yeah, I think it might have to be, and we'll just have to try to optimize it best we can. Oh. Visible. Me either. Because the rain material worked. We just had this working. Oh, now mine's showing it here to some extent in the preview editor thing. Maybe we should try something more like bigger and easier to see. first. Yeah, it's really weirding me out. I'm gonna redo this real quick. I can see it there, which is ridiculous, and then this just isn't working. So I'm gonna just retry a particle system. Rain particles. Oh, I'm almost running out of time. That's okay. The material is a new sprite emitter. Get rid of that one. Whoops, I just messed up. Oh boy. Window. Reset my toolbars. Reset layout. But it'll only be on the edges of the box. Yeah. You would just need some big particles and kind of spread them out a bit, you know. And then once it might run kind of crummy to begin with, but once we're done, you bake the whole project in, and it makes it so it doesn't have to calculate it constantly, you know. You can tell it, bake this thing in, don't have any collision, don't worry about anything else, just constantly do this one thing, you know. So it shouldn't slow us down too much. Yeah. Yeah, like I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and that game is one of the craziest looking, graphically amazing games. And when it rains, you can kind of any game when it rains, you can tell it slows down a little bit. So there's a bunch of tricks to speed it up. We haven't even gotten to the point where we need to yet. So like it'll take a pretty massive level, yeah, to mess us up. Oh great! I messed up my toolbar thing, so I don't know. Let me see that. Yeah. Great. Now I don't know how to get my toolbar back because I closed them all on accident. Ah. Jeez. Yeah, I messed it all up. Rain. Where's my stuff? Oh, and also we'll have to do LODs at some point. View overlays. Oh, it's all in here. Particle. Right. No, it's not. View modes. I don't know. Vector field. That's just great. Literally have no. Oh, emitters. There we go. Jeez. Okay. Window curve editor. There we go. I was gonna say, oh, LODs. So yeah, like if the rain is way over there, it'll just be really low quality. So you have a high quality one right around the person, and it just gets worse and worse as it goes farther away. So that way, you only really need the rain kind of following around the guy's head that is good quality, you know. Rain, yeah, yeah, yeah. We could have tried to. Well, you can kind of tell. Also, it'd be cool to like make the materials so that they appear wet when it rains. You know, like the ground and stuff. So you'd have to have a trigger the change in the material for the ground. Just want to be a Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oops, let me try this again real quick. Rain, I don't need this one. What are you gonna try? Fire, smoke. Well, we'll figure it out. I'll play with it more. I'm a little bit rusty. They changed it since last time, but that's at least the kind of gist of it. So it's not like as crazy as you thought, huh? It's like it's actually kind of fun once you start getting the hang of it. Yeah, totally. Particles are awesome. Let's see if this shows. Yeah, it's not showing for me either. That's kind of strange. Um, I guess it is. There it is. It's just so light, I couldn't see it. Yeah, I think like we'll need to change it to like nighttime or dark skies, um, so you can see the white against the actual background. Rain, brag about it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of the gist. We just play with it, and if you want to like look at some of their starter content, go now that you know a little bit about it, you can look at like what an explosion looks like, and here's the different emitters that you can have multiple emitters, obviously, in one. So you can see all the different things they're using, like color over life, and some of these other ones. They have light, so I think it actually produces some light. You could always play with these and try to make them crazy. Great. So like if I wanted to see now if I just crank the rate up, now it's like a ridiculous explosion. And then you can play with like lifetime or something. Let's see, lifetime. So you get a lot. You can get a lot of weird effects just by messing with some of the settings. Maybe that was one. It's like an eyeball or something. Yeah. So like eventually, if we're gonna, we're not doing magic, huh? Like something. Normally, you'd want to do like some spells or like some effects that the character produces, even like gunshot like bursts and yeah, it's kind of cool. We can do something like when he goes from reality into his dream state or something. Yeah, like we'd want to make like one level where it looks like a regular world, and then have the next world like be maybe a version of that that's like weirder. Or just it goes from daytime happy to dark, and like everything looks dead or whatever. However you want to do it. So that's kind of like the basics. I mean, does that help at all? I'll get you started. I think I hit a limit too. That might be if I crank up the rate too much. Now it disappeared, which is kind of weird. Let's see. Yeah, I'll try. I'll mess with this too. I like particles. It's just I haven't had a reason to mess with them lately. So I'll try to figure out what I might have been doing wrong with some of the rain. And that's like a sprinkler. I think that might be it. Is in the rain one I was doing. Let's see where I put it. It's showing up in the preview thing. It's showing red, so that might be a problem. Warm up time. Yeah, we'll mess with it. I'll do it again on Tuesday if you want. Just to come up with a list of what we need. We need rain. What else? Want like a dust storm or something? Well, wind's invisible, but the trees you can already activate them with wind. You could just yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a fun one to do because you could try to make them like fall like a leaf. So you can do wind right here and tell it what direction you want it to go and how much wind. So look at my trees now. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Yeah, man. And the trees we already have chosen or we already have popped in here already have wind like set up with them. So let me just press play and I can look at it. Wind. Yeah, you have to set it up a certain way. You just use I used to use SpeedTree, but it's paid now. I was trying to get my boss to buy it for us. Like you can crank it up like it's a windstorm. It gets a little crazy. Um, but I haven't looked it up because I've always used SpeedTree. It used to be free and it used to have wind built in, and you would just kind of like tell it how you want to build trees, and it would do it for you. Um, so until then, we can just use the built-in ones, or if somebody wants to look into that, we can do that too. You can even do gusts, and you can do wind from a point, so that it's like blowing out a tunnel or something. Um, so yeah, wind is already built in, but you could put dust and leaves to make it look more legit, especially if we're in a forest, But But if we're in a forest and we're using wind, we gotta be careful about like crashing things because it's a lot of processing. If there's like a ton, you know. Yeah, I mean the trees have LODs I think already built in, so it shouldn't be like the end of the world. As long as we don't have like 30 million trees. Or a trigger box or something, you know, like once they get to this area, now it's like rain, it starts to rain. Uh, yeah, true. But I mean, just for our first our first paths will probably be more scripted. Like you know, you walk down a path, something happens, end of video. You know, um, and then from there, yeah, that'd be cool too. Yeah, if it just randomly like cycles through different things. You also have to, yeah, also have to work on day-night cycle, and oh, cool. Yeah, I messed with it for a second, and I was like having issues. So I'm like, I'll come back to this, but okay, I'm pretty much out of time now, but we can pick. Okay, well, we can pick this back up on Tuesday. Let's see if we can maybe chat over the weekend and get the GitHub thing set up so that we can actually just start building a level. I'll just throw down some trees and make a level, like you know, to some extent. Um, yeah, Donovan has one, but I need him to like be able to either give it to me through GitHub or at least just give me the level, the map files, and whatever assets. I think he's using the same ones we are, so if I can just get him to send me the map, then we can just start with that, and I can start an entirely new repository, and we'll just try again. And then you can just jam your blueprints in there, and hopefully that'll be good enough to get started. Yeah, that's odd. Yeah, let's just restart. We should also like be doing versions at some point, you know, like one once it's working and good, that's version one. Walk away, duplicate it, and now we're on version 1.1. You know. Yeah. Yeah, something went wrong with GitHub. It's my first time using it too, so we'll figure it out. But it's our only real option that is free. Otherwise, all the content version of source control things are paid. Could be. Yeah, it's not bug free. It's pretty good though. Yeah, if we do something wrong, it'll break it. All right, so that's gonna be it. I guess I'll hit me up on Discord if you figure out or you want to work on the GitHub stuff, and then we'll work on particles, maybe some more Photoshop, whatever you guys want to. Hunter, you want me to show you like the auto rigging tools maybe next week? Oh, did he? Well, I have some auto rigging tools that I use to get that our main character in, so I could show you guys that if that's something we want to know. Yeah, the creature's gonna be different though because we can't auto rig them unless they're just like bipedal. So I can show basic rigging too. It's not gonna be like the world's greatest rigging, but it'll do. So yeah, we'll go on there. We're running out of time though, guys. So get on your final projects and start sending me anything you got. So levels, assets, um, materials, concepts, anything. Start sending it over, and we'll start plugging it in the game, so we can have at least something to walk through and see for finals. All right, sound good? All right, catch you later then. Have a good one. See ya.